A note before this one starts, same as the last. This theme was scoped for 15 entries. After research, only 6 cases met the bar of a documented structural or construction defect, confirmed through lawsuits, court filings, or named professional assessment, that left a specific celebrity-owned property difficult or impossible to sell at anything close to its intended value. Other commonly repeated stories about celebrity construction disasters turned out to rest on unverified blog claims once traced back to a source, so they were left out rather than included on weaker footing. Each entry below is backed by litigation records, named contractors or builders, and contemporaneous news coverage rather than second-hand listicle claims. 3 of the 6 cases involved litigation that was still active at the time of research, meaning the final legal outcome and the property's ultimate resale value may still change after this script was written, a limitation noted individually within each of those entries. Number 6. Kanye West, Malibu, California, 2021 to 2024. The musician and designer purchased a concrete and glass home in Malibu for $57.3 million in 2021. A property originally designed by celebrated Japanese architect Tadao Ando and considered an important piece of minimalist residential architecture. Rather than preserving the design, West hired an unlicensed contractor to strip the home down to its bare concrete shell, removing windows, doors, plumbing fixtures, and most interior finishes as part of a planned renovation that was never completed. A former contractor on the project later sued West, alleging injuries sustained on site and describing unusual demands made during the work, including instructions to remove all toilets from the property, according to court filings covering the dispute. By 2024, West abandoned the renovation entirely and listed the stripped-down structure for $53 million, well below his purchase price, before it eventually sold for approximately $21 million, a loss of more than $36 million from the original purchase. Real estate agents who toured the property during its listing period described conditions inside as closer to an unfinished construction site than a livable home, noting missing staircases in places and bare wiring left exposed throughout multiple floors. There are some limitations, though. West's wealth means this case reflects a choice to gut an architecturally significant home rather than an inability to finish it, which makes it more a story of self-inflicted devaluation than an accidental construction failure. A home once celebrated as a work of architecture became, through its own owner's renovation choices, one of the most dramatic single property value losses in recent Malibu real estate history. Architecture critics and design publications had widely praised the original Tadao Ando structure for its minimalist use of poured concrete and uninterrupted ocean views, treating the home as a significant example of the architect's work on American soil before West's renovation began. Photographs and video footage circulated during the listing period showed bare concrete rooms without glass in the window openings, exposed structural beams, and rooms stripped down to studs, images that real estate commentators repeatedly cited as a cautionary example of how a renovation gone wrong can erase a property's original value faster than almost any other kind of damage. The eventual $21 million sale price meant the home traded for barely a third of what West had paid just 3 years earlier, one of the largest percentage losses recorded on a single residential sale in Malibu during that period. Number 5. Brad Pitt, Make It Right Foundation Homes, New Orleans, Louisiana, 2007 to 2018. The actor founded the Make It Right Foundation in 2007 to build affordable, storm-resistant housing in New Orleans' Lower Ninth Ward following Hurricane Katrina, ultimately constructing 109 homes designed by a roster of architects that included Frank Gehry and Shigeru Ban. Beginning in January of 2014, residents in more than 20 of the homes began reporting premature rotting, and subsequent inspections identified structural failures, mold outbreaks, electrical fires, and plumbing problems traced to construction and material defects. Homeowners Jennifer DeQueer and Lloyd Francis filed suit against the foundation, Pitt personally, and project architect John C. Williams, with a judge ultimately ruling in 2018 that Pitt could be held personally liable alongside the foundation he had created. The ruling was notable in construction defect law, specifically because it pierced through the nonprofit foundation structure to reach Pitt as an individual officer. A legal outcome attorneys, not involved in the case, described at the time as relatively unusual for a celebrity-backed charitable organization. The foundation separately sued Williams, alleging he was responsible for inadequate waterproofing and incomplete repairs across the development, while residents' attorneys described a pattern of partial fixes that left underlying defects unresolved for years. There's a catch. The homes were sold to lower-income residents at adjusted prices rather than built as Pitt's own residence, which makes this a celebrity-backed housing development rather than a personal estate, a different category from most other entries on this list. A philanthropic project meant to demonstrate resilient design after one of America's worst natural disasters instead became a multi-year lawsuit over the building's own structural failures. The homes had been celebrated at the time of construction for their elevated foundations, solar panels, and sustainable building materials, with each design submitted by a different architect competing to demonstrate a vision for storm-resilient housing in a flood-prone neighborhood. The attorney representing the affected homeowners told Architectural Digest that the foundation had been very good at pacifying residents and putting them off, occasionally returning to fix one specific complaint without addressing the underlying pattern of defects throughout each home. By the time the lawsuits reached court, several of the original 109 houses had deteriorated, to the point where local reporting described some structures as candidates for outright demolition rather than repair, a stark contrast to the optimistic press coverage that had greeted the development's opening roughly a decade earlier. Number 4. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra, Encino, California, 2019 to present. The musician and actress purchased a mansion in the Encino neighborhood of Los Angeles for $20 million in 2019, a property featuring a gym, theater, and expansive outdoor living space. The couple was forced to move out after discovering an extensive mold infestation caused by water damage, which a trustee representing them later described in court filings as severe enough to render parts of the home hazardous to occupy. The trustee filed suit, seeking to rescind the original sale entirely, along with compensation for loss of use and repair costs, naming the builder as the primary defendant in a case that has since drawn in multiple subcontractors through cross-complaints. An attorney involved in the case told press that establishing responsibility has been unusually complicated, since every party that touched the construction, from the original builder down to individual subcontractors, has filed claims against other parties in the chain. Industry attorneys describe this kind of cascading cross-complaint structure as one of the main reasons high-value construction defect cases in Los Angeles can take years to resolve, since each new filing effectively restarts portions of the discovery process for the parties newly drawn into the dispute. That said, it has vulnerabilities as a fully resolved case. As of the most recent reporting, the litigation remains ongoing, meaning the property's final sales status and the ultimate finding of fault have not yet been settled. A $20 million mansion became, instead of a family home, the center of a sprawling legal dispute over who is responsible for water damage nobody disclosed before the sale. The Encino property had been marketed at the time of sale as a move-in ready luxury home, complete with amenities expected at that price point, which made the subsequent discovery of extensive hidden water damage especially jarring for the couple, who relocated their household while the legal process unfolded. Industry observers tracking the case have noted that the layered structure of cross-complaints, where the builder sues subcontractors and those subcontractors sue their own suppliers, is increasingly common in high-value construction defect litigation, precisely because so many different trades touch a single luxury home during construction, making it difficult for any one party to be held solely responsible even when the underlying damage is severe and well documented. Number 3. Sam Altman, San Francisco, California, 2020 to present. The technology executive purchased a mansion in San Francisco's Russian Hill neighborhood in 2020 for $27 million, a property that had been marketed with an elevator, sauna, and panoramic city views. A pool leak caused extensive water damage that culminated in a mold infestation severe enough to render the home's lower level hazardous, according to a lawsuit filed against the developer and its contractors. The lawsuit further alleged that an improperly connected bathroom line had been discharging raw sewage directly onto the ground beneath the property, and that the developer had known about water system problems before the sale without disclosing them. Repair costs tied to the defects were estimated in the millions of dollars, with the dispute centering on whether the developer and contractors misrepresented the home's condition at the time of purchase. San Francisco's hillside geology, combined with the city's older housing stock and frequent renovation of century-old foundations, has made waterproofing disputes a recurring feature of the city's luxury real estate litigation, with this case drawing particular attention because of the prominence of the buyer involved. It isn't without weaknesses, as a closed case. Like the Jonas and Chopra dispute, this litigation was still working through the courts as of the most recent reporting, so the property's long-term resale prospects remain unresolved. One of the most prominent figures in the technology industry found that even a $27 million purchase price was no guarantee against buying a house with sewage problems hidden beneath its foundations. At the time of its original listing, the home had been featured in Architectural Digest and marketed as one of San Francisco's most expensive available properties, complete with a wellness cottage, infinity pool, and a private garage finished to resemble a high-end car enthusiast's showroom. The lawsuit specifically named the developer's chief executive personally, alleging that waterproofing defects were known internally before the sale closed, a claim that, if proven, could expose the company to additional liability beyond standard construction defect damages. Cases like this one have become increasingly visible in San Francisco's luxury market, where aggressive renovation timelines on older hillside lots can create exactly the kind of waterproofing and drainage failures that surfaced in this dispute. Number 2. 432 Park Avenue, New York, New York, 2015 to present. This super-tall residential tower on Manhattan's Billionaires Row, once the tallest residential building in the world, has drawn ownership and rental interest from numerous entertainment and business figures since opening in 2015, alongside more than 20 reported water leaks since 2017. The building's condo board filed suit in 2021, citing malfunctioning elevators, poor energy efficiency, and a trash chute loud enough to be compared to an explosion, before filing a second, more serious lawsuit in 2025. That later lawsuit alleged the tower's facade contained nearly 1,900 individual defects, including a 10-inch deep crack in the building's structural core, and that developers had misled New York City's Department of Buildings about the true extent of the damage. Condo owners are collectively seeking more than $165 million in damages, arguing that a proposed fix involving an opaque covering over the cracked facade was rejected specifically because it would have made the building less visually appealing to the world's wealthiest buyers. The lawsuit names the architecture and engineering firms involved in the original design, alongside the developer, reflecting a broader pattern in major construction litigation, where responsibility is spread deliberately across as many professional parties as possible. There are limits, though. This entry concerns a multi-unit residential tower rather than a single owner estate, and the specific celebrity residents affected have not been individually named in court filings, which makes this a building-wide story rather than one person's property. A tower built to attract the world's billionaires with its slender, record-setting design, instead became defined by thousands of cracks spreading across the same facade that was supposed to make it iconic. The building's extreme height-to-width ratio of 15:1, a major selling point during initial marketing as a feat of structural engineering, is also cited in the more recent lawsuit as a contributing factor in the facade's vulnerability to weather-related stress and cracking over time. Residents have separately complained for years about the building swaying perceptibly in high winds and making audible creaking noises. Complaints that, while not the direct subject of the structural lawsuit, have become a well-known feature of living in the tower, according to multiple news reports covering the building since it opened. The dispute has drawn attention from structural engineers well beyond New York, in part because so few buildings of this height and slenderness existed anywhere in the world at the time it was designed, making its facade problems an unusually closely watched case study for the broader super-tall residential building industry. Number 1. Megan Fox, California, 2020 to 2021. The actress purchased a Calabasas area home with her then-husband, actor Brian Austin Green, despite being informed before the sale about existing mold, septic tank issues, and unpermitted structures already present on the property. Fox's own real estate attorney had advised against the purchase, describing it in correspondence later cited in court documents as a nightmarish, ill-advised, and risky transaction, given what inspectors had already documented as a cavalcade of deficiencies. Fox proceeded with the purchase regardless, and subsequently filed a $5 million lawsuit against her real estate manager, Pitt, claiming the mold caused serious health issues, including chronic migraines and an overactive thyroid that led to significant weight loss. The case ultimately settled in August of 2021 for $100,000. A small fraction of what Fox had sought, after a judge found her manager not liable, given that Fox's own attorney had explicitly warned her against the purchase beforehand. Fox and Green ultimately divorced in 2021 as well, the same year the lawsuit settled, though the two events were reported separately, and no public reporting has tied the property dispute directly to the end of the marriage. Not everything works in its favor as a contractor or builder-driven story. Court records indicate Fox had access to inspection reports and legal advice warning her about the property's defects before closing, which shifts some responsibility onto the decision to proceed despite that warning. A nightmarish, ill-advised, and risky purchase, in the words of the very attorney hired to prevent it, ended up costing far more in mold remediation and litigation than the modest settlement Fox ultimately received. Court documents obtained by the Daily Mail during the litigation revealed the full extent of the warnings Fox had received, painting an unusually detailed public picture of exactly how much risk disclosure had occurred before a celebrity home purchase went wrong, since most similar disputes settle with far less of the underlying correspondence becoming public record. The relatively small $100,000 settlement, against an original $5 million claim, reflected the difficulty of holding a real estate manager liable for a client's decision to proceed against documented legal advice, a dynamic that real estate attorneys have since cited as a cautionary example for advising other high-profile clients on distressed property purchases. A celebrity's name on a deed doesn't make a house immune to mold, cracked facades, or a contractor's bad judgment. It just means the lawsuit gets more attention when it happens. Wealth bought every name on this list, a faster lawyer, and a louder headline, but it never bought waterproofing, and the court filings prove it.